Well, good evening, guys. My name is Elizabeth LeConey. Excuse me. This is the Tuesday night business overview call. We do these calls pretty much every evening, every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We have a different type of call. Monday is always our product overview call. So if you ever want to call in and understand how our amazing products work, how they can work in your life and in other people's lives, then we encourage you to come and join that call on Monday evenings. It is the same time, 9 o'clock, same phone number, just a different night. Obviously, tonight is the business overview call, and then Wednesday nights we very often do have a validation call, and that's where you can hear from real-life people who have had amazing transformations both physically and financially. But we do are super excited that you guys have joined this evening to learn about this business opportunity. So you're probably in one or two sets of type of people that are calling in tonight. You might be someone who's already started on these products. You are loving your transformation, and you would love to be able to share it with other people and want to know what kind of opportunity there is out there. Maybe how to get your products paid for, or maybe to go beyond that and have a stream of income coming in residually. You could be a set of people that are coming in, haven't even started on the products, but you have heard about this amazing opportunity from a business standpoint, and you're looking to get a little bit more information, understand how this business works, maybe how network marketing works, but especially how Isagenix is so positioned perfectly in this trend to work out for you guys. And so I want to start getting you a little bit of information and background about me. My name, again, is Elizabeth LeConey. I have been with Isagenix for 18 months, and I came in strictly for product. I had really no indication of wanting to do the business. I didn't have any idea about the business. I didn't understand what network marketing was. I have had no experience in it. I came in, I wanted to lose 10 pounds and really to be done. And what happened was what you'll hear from a lot of people who start on these products is that we fall in love with them. I did. I managed to not only lose 10 pounds my first month, but I had a lot of other health transformations go on in my body. I had suffered from GI issues. They were completely resolved within the first couple of days. My energy was through the roof. I started sleeping better. And what happens when that happens to you is that it's very natural to want to tell people. And that's what happened to me. I started to see this physical transformation with me. And even though I came in saying, I'm not going to tell anybody, this is my secret, and I'm certainly not going to do any kind of business or selling, it really started to be second nature to me because it's just like anything else. If you go to see a movie and you love the movie, you go tell people about it. If you go to a restaurant and you have a great entree or your service was amazing, then you tell people about it. It was really no different from that concept for me. And so without realizing I was doing the business, I kind of was. And I started to share it with people. And all along, as I was sharing, in my head, I was thinking, this is great. I'm going to share with some people. I want other people to have what I have. I'm going to make a little bit of money here and there, enough to pay for my products, which was fine for me for about 8 months. But all along, I thought, I am not getting involved with network marketing. I don't have time to do a business. I was at the time working a 40-hour-a-week job that was pretty demanding. 2 young boys. My husband was working very crazy shift schedules, and I was in the middle of a busy photography season because I do that as a side business. So I couldn't imagine putting anything else into my life, even if it, was going to give me extra income. It was something that I was very skeptical about. I did not understand network marketing. I didn't have the time to research it. And so, I continued to share it with people, but something kind of clicked with me at some point. I started to think about where we were financially in our family. We had always struggled with some debt, and we really needed a way to get more income into our family. And my job just wasn't cutting it. My husband's job wasn't cutting it, and we still had credit card debt. That wasn't going to ever change until we had a massive amount of money that we could pay it off. Otherwise, we were on like a 10-year plan, and that didn't seem very feasible at the time. And so I started to really research what this business opportunity was, what network marketing was, and the compensation plan that Isagenix has. And what I found really blew me away because it was so simple. And the biggest thing was that I was already doing it. I was already talking to people. It's just that I hadn't switched to be very intentional about building a business. And so when I made that switch and I thought, okay, this is something, there's something here, I started listening to these exact calls and really learning about this opportunity is when I started to build a business. And it didn't ever feel like a lot of work, but it paid me more than I could ever imagine. And so in a matter of months, with me really looking at this as a true business opportunity, more than just getting my products paid for, we were able to pay off credit card debt that we had. We had $10,000 worth of credit card debt. That was gone. In July of this year, we were able to pay that off, which was a huge burden lifted from our family's life. I started to notice how financially the residual income that was coming in just by me sharing with people, and then the people I was bringing in, they couldn't shut up either. They had to go tell someone, and then their people were telling people, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. I started to notice how that was translating into a lot of money coming in for us, so much so that it was matching my corporate income. It blew me away. I started to notice every month for a couple of months. I thought, wow, this is exactly what I make going to work every single day and sitting at my cube and doing the job that I'm not so excited about. I'm making the same thing by changing people's lives and just opening my mouth and telling them what is happening with me and what could happen with them. And the day came that I exceeded my corporate income. And not just exceeded it, it completely tripled it. And it was to the point where I was able to walk in and resign from my corporate America job. And I will tell you, I had a pretty well-paying job in corporate America. I had a very good job with a very well-respected organization. But I felt confident enough walking away and doing something I felt truly passionate about, and I will tell you that my income has tripled since I have left. I am at a point where I am making a multiple six-figure residual income, and it is all due to this amazing opportunity and this amazing compensation plan. So with that, I want to dig deep into what we have here with Isagenix, starting with the products. I'm not going to dig deep into the products because we do have that Monday night product overview call, but I think it's an important place to start so you understand what we have here, because if we didn't have the products, we don't have a business. So let's talk about it. The concept is, and the understanding that we need to have is that we, as a society, we're in a health crisis. We don't have the nutrition and the minerals and the right ingredients in order to flood our body with the right nutrition that it deserves and it needs and it thrives off of. Our statistics are going up. 1 in 2.2 people will develop cancer. There's all kinds of new autoimmune diseases that are being developed, that are being discovered, that didn't exist years ago. 2/3 of Americans are overweight and 95% of Americans are acidic. So we're a sick country. We don't have, the right types of health going on in our country. We're over-medicated. We're putting the wrong things in our foods. They're genetically modified. And so we need a true solution for that, and that's where Isagenix comes in. Isagenix is the only, and it's the world's only, full-body cellular cleansing system. We have solutions for weight loss. You hear a lot of people come in, they lose weight. A lot of times people think this is just for weight loss, but it's actually for more. We have solutions for energy and performance. We have solutions for anti-aging, and then we have solutions for wealth creation. People will come in because they see this as a true, huge business opportunity. This is big business, guys. So we are validated. We are a validated company. This is not a new company. We have been around for 13 years, 13 years worth of validated products. We know these products work. This is one of these things where people will come into me. I don't ever have to say, I don't know if this is going to work for you. We know these products work. They work for everyone. It puts your body in an alkaline state. It releases the toxins. It makes you feel better. It makes you release weight. We know all these things. It does what it says it's going to do. And I am the type of person that I don't stand behind something that I don't believe in, both from a product perspective and from a business standpoint. I certainly wouldn't have left my well-respected position to do this otherwise. So when I was really thinking about, okay, what makes this company important for me to walk away from my corporate career, there were several factors that came into play that really spoke to me and that speak to many people who come into this business. The first is that we have owners. Jim and Kathy Coover are our owners of this company, of Isagenix. They have massive experience. This is not a couple of people who are coming in who don't have a lot of experience, not many years, decide to start a network marketing company and have no experience to base it upon. They have years and years and years of experience, and they've done well, so well that they actually were in retirement. They had done their deed. They had done what they do best. They had made a substantial amount of money to put them into retirement at a young age. And what happened is they were in retirement when the founders of Isagenix, the products, John Anderson, came up with these products. He developed these products. He wanted to find the right types of people, the right couple to run this business. He went to Jim and Kathy Coover. He said, I want you, because you have the experience, you have the integrity, and we want you to come and to run this business. So they actually came out of retirement in order to run this business. And we are so glad that they do, because they are a wealth of experience and they run this company with an abundance of integrity. So the other things that are really coming into play with this opportunity, especially with Isagenix, we're in the convergence of trends. So there's several trends that are coming together that make this the perfect opportunity. The first, we're in the information age. I think everybody can understand and can be clear on the fact that our world, we are surrounded by social media, by cell phones, by the internet. This is how we communicate with each other. We can get from point A to point B using social media, the cell phones, internet. We can do that really fast, and we can do it really easily. So the way that we communicate and get information across to people has sped up, and it's way easier. The second thing, we are in the age wave. So if you think about it, all generations right now, we all want the same thing. That's the first time in history that we all want the exact same thing. What do you think those things are? Well, we all want weight loss. Depending on which generation you're in, most everybody tends to want to look good, to feel good, to have anti-aging solutions. People who are young don't want to look older. People who are older don't want to look older. They want to be youthful. They want anything they can to get youth back. We want, overall health. These are all things that all generations are coming together. We all want the same thing for the first time. And then the third thing is our demands, our markets are all in demand. There's 3 markets that are all in demand at this moment. Weight loss. We're already spending $60 billion in the United States on weight loss every year. Anti-aging, we're already spending $114 billion every year. And then nutritional fitness, $40 billion. That's over $200 billion that we're spending on those 3 markets. Those 3 markets are exactly what we just talked about that our generations all want. So this is stuff that we already want. This is stuff we're already spending money on, and we have a solution with Isagenix, with these products that give these people what we're already spending on, what we're already spending on. We are entering into a movement called momentum, which in any business is a point of your business where you want to ride through because it is explosive growth. So I want to tell you some numbers to show you how we are moving up at a rapid pace. 2002, our gross volume for the year was $334 million. 2013, we were $448 million. This year, we are on track to close out at $700 million. In 2015, at the rate that we are already growing, we will close out next year at $1 billion. That is huge for a company only validated for 13 years. And I shouldn't say only because that's amazing, but what makes this an incredible statement is that, have you ever heard of companies such as Mary Kay or Avon? Those are $1 billion companies, but the thing is they took 30 years to get to $1 billion. We're doing it in 14 years. If that doesn't speak volumes about this company and the growth and the markets that are coming into play that we have solutions for, that it's remarkable. Another thing that was really key for me is that these are consumable products. This is not Tupperware. This is not makeup. This is something that we consume on a daily basis. We all eat. So this is something that is going to be ordered, something that is going to be a demand month after month. There's not going to be a period of time where somebody says that they're just not going to eat. When these people get these products into their body, they're going to see the transformation and they're going to want it month after month after month. So I like to say with this business, when I, enrolled last May, maybe the end of May, when I enrolled, yes, it was just for products. But I like to say I bought a little piece of real estate because even though I wasn't ready to explore this business at that time, I bought a little piece of real estate in this company because what is happening is through the months, the volume keeps increasing and increasing, and that's because people are putting these products in their bodies and they can't stop talking about it. And the volume keeps growing and growing and growing. And so the sooner that you buy your piece of real estate, the sooner that you're going to see your business center completely skyrocket and boom. So that's a little bit of background on myself, a little bit of business overview, but what I would really love to do is I have a guest with me this evening. His name is Gary Russell, and what I want him to do is to kind of give you an idea of how he came in, where he was before, and where he sees this vision. He has a background in corporate America, in investment banking, and even in teaching, and he's choosing network marketing. And so I would love for Gary, for you to come on and just give a little bit of your background and then explain to you what appeals to you with network marketing, especially with Isagenix. So welcome to the call, Gary.
Great. Thanks. Can you hear me, Elizabeth?
I hear you perfectly. Thanks.
Okay, great. So I get the first thing really just to kick off is a question for everybody on the call. Why are you here? I mean, if you think about it, it's a Tuesday night here in the Americas. We're getting ready for the Thanksgiving holidays. For those of our friends and colleagues in Asia Pacific, it's their Wednesday morning. We're all here for a reason. And I think if you dig deep and ask yourself, why are you here, at a gut level, all of you see the opportunity before you. And I've often heard one of my favorite expressions is that luck equals opportunity plus preparation. And I have no doubt that all of us see this tremendous opportunity before us. And it's a matter of really how prepared are we to, as Elizabeth said, be intentional and really maximize this opportunity that we have so that in 6 months, so that in 12 months or 18 months, your friends and folks look at you and they say, wow, he or she was lucky. And you'll know to yourself, no, this wasn't luck. I had the perfect opportunity. It converged with preparation, with being intentional, taking deliberate steps, and really making the most out of this. So as we go through this call, really ask yourself, where do you want to be in 6 months? Where do you want to be in 12 months? If you continue on the track that you're on right now, what opportunities is that going to create for you? Where will you be down the road? And I found myself in this position. So as Elizabeth said, I have 15 years in corporate America. Before that, I had taught. I've been in the investment banking industry for the past 5.5 years in IT. I'm an IT manager. And during this time, I've seen some alarming trends. I've seen massive layoffs. I've seen outsourcing. At one point, I was managing a team of roughly 50 staff. Actually, it was 6 teams and 50 staff. All of those jobs went overseas. They were outsourced. And so, at the end of the day, also what I realized by going through this process, it had nothing to do with how smart those folks were. It had nothing to do with how hard they worked. At the end of the day, it was down to dollars and cents, and the firm realized they could save money by moving these roles, and that was it. Essentially, by going through that, what I realized, and as many of you I'm sure have realized, all you have to do is watch the news, is do we truly have job security anymore? If you work for a company, you essentially have one customer. That's your employer. And if that company does poorly, you do poorly. And so for those of you on this call, I'm sure we all share a common desire. We all are achievers. We all want to do better for ourselves. I, for one, didn't like the idea of my income being dependent on many factors outside of my control. I could work as hard as I want and hope I get a bonus at the end of the year, hope I get a raise, but it wasn't fully in my control. And so along the way, I had dabbled in several different businesses. Being an IT guy, I've had a couple different IT consulting and training businesses with a teaching background. Training was a natural fit for me. And there were things I really liked about this. I liked knowing that how much money I earned through them was dependent on my effort. It was under my control. And the more I put into the business, the more I could reap. It was up to me. And so I'd actually incorporated a couple of these businesses. But there were also some things about these businesses that I disliked. And one of them is the business owned me. So at the end of the day, if I wanted to make more money, I had to work more. If I wanted to, for example, as a technical trainer, make money, I had to teach additional classes. And what did that mean? That meant evenings away from my family, evenings away from my wife and my son and daughter. Yes, I was making the money, but the business owned me. So yet again, in many ways, it was really no different than being an employee at another company. So I couldn't really truly state I owned a business. Another issue I faced was just massive competition. All you have to do is turn on the news, listen to the radio. There's so many businesses and companies out there that were offering the same thing I had. And so in many ways, what I had to do is I had to create demand for what I was offering. Now, as a technical trainer, that definitely helped because I had certain IT certifications that a select few people had, so it was somewhat of a niche. But the issue with that is if I wanted to take advantage of that, I had to do a lot of traveling, which once again meant the business owned me, and it meant more time away from my family. So having been through all of this, why Isagenix? So and really, before I even dive into that, just my personal story, I had seen my wife. She had enrolled in Isagenix and started using the products last March. I saw the tremendous success that she had. I saw the tremendous success that her friends in the neighborhood had. I mean, the product, it spoke for itself. And so when I first started using the product back in August, I was interested, quite frankly, in losing weight. I was training for my 12th marathon at the time, and I had hit a wall. I had hit a plateau in terms of my weight loss, and my goal was simply to lose weight while maintaining lean muscle, maintaining my energy levels so I could successfully run that race. I was not interested in the business at the time. I was just purely focused on the product. And the first month or so, I didn't even, quite frankly, read the getting started pack that came with it. I didn't look at the information that came with it. I kind of winged it in terms of cleansing. Those of you that are cleansing can understand that. So it wasn't a very disciplined approach to the product. But nonetheless, I had seen the success that everybody had with it, and I was excited to get on board. And as I expected, I was able to break through that plateau. I lost the weight I was trying to reach, and even as of last week, I remember getting on the scale and was just so excited to see the progress I'd made because I broke through to a level I hadn't been at in over 20 years. So nonetheless, that's how I got started with Isagenix. purely as a product user. But then as I started using this, experienced the success I expected, saw the continued success of my wife and her friends, then I did get interested and I started looking at this. And there's really 5 different drivers for me why I want to really jump on board, be very intentional, and make the most out of this opportunity. So the first reason is the product. This is a product that I believe in, that you can believe in. It's not selling. You don't have to sell anybody on the product. Quite frankly, if they don't want to use it and they're so skeptical, I believe in planting the seed, and eventually they may come back to us. But I'd rather take the approach of sharing. I'd like to share the journey I've been on, the success I've personally experienced. I'm a product of the product. I can speak to what does it taste like? What does it feel like to go through a cleanse? What does it also feel like to step on the scale after cleansing, and the energy boost you can get? So number one, I would lead with the product. It's proven. This isn't a fad. As Elizabeth said, it's well established. It's based on sound research. It's a quality product built with integrity. It works. It speaks for itself. And I could approach this from a sharing perspective, not selling. As an IT person, I've never envisioned myself and don't think of myself as a salesperson. I've never been in sales, but I do feel like I can speak to the success of the product and share it. And actually, you could almost even argue that there's a moral imperative to share this with your friends and family. Those of you that you know are suffering from energy issues and challenges, or those that are looking to potentially lose some weight and those type of changes in their lives, and they're not sure where to turn to, you could almost argue by keeping it to yourself, you're not really doing the best for them. And there's a lot of products out there that, quite frankly, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that and sharing it under those type of circumstances. So that's the first thing, leading with the product. Second thing, really, for me, and why I've really jumped on board, is the support that you get with this product. So there's so many tools out there. There's so much corporate support. You have the support of your upline team, of the person who enrolled you. There's social media. There's so many tools readily available. Podcasts. So if you haven't started listening to the podcast, for example, I would encourage you to do that. You can very quickly build a website. You don't have to code anything. You can get your Isagenix website up and running quite quickly. There's so many marketing materials. You don't have to create these things from scratch, especially if you're new to this type of thing. And like myself, you don't consider yourself a salesperson. You want to focus on the product and not having to generate FAQs, frequently asked question sheets and things like that. And another thing really important along the lines of support, you're part of a bigger team, and so the team succeeds as a whole. Your upline, your peers on the team, they have a vested interest in seeing you succeed. It's not a competitive environment. It's a nurturing environment where you're encouraged to duplicate best practices, not reinvent the wheel, and really focus on growing the business if that's what you decide to do. The third thing for me was just the inherent demand. I know, Elizabeth, you touched on this, right? Ask yourself, who doesn't want to feel better? Who doesn't want to have a better nutritional program in their life? And as she mentioned, we're not trying to sell unnecessary or extra products to people. It's a meal replacement program. This isn't nice to have. This is something everybody at the end of the day needs to eat. They need nutrition, and so we're really not focused on a discretionary product here. So those are the a couple key items. The fourth item is you can focus on growing your business, not logistics. And so by this, there's a lot of businesses out there that essentially you would have to convert your garage into a warehouse. I'm not stocking supplies in my garage. I don't have any overhead associated with this. With my former businesses, I had to incorporate. I had to go to attorneys and pay attorney fees. There was quarterly taxes I had to submit, accountants I had to pay, hiring issues, employment law issues, all the overhead of a traditional business. I don't have to worry about that here. I can focus 100% on growing my business and not managing the logistics of the business. And I like the idea that I don't have to stock products in my garage. Through the auto ship process, you can focus on coaching people and helping them. So once you enroll them, You're not worried about shipping the product to them. You can guide them towards the ISA Products site so they can start really getting excited about what's coming in the mail and from day one hit the ground running and be successful with it. So in addition to these four factors, the final thing, of course, is the compensation structure and the residual income aspect of this. So with Isagenix, I once saw a quote where somebody said if folks understood what residual income is all about, they would run through a brick wall to get it. And clearly this is a huge driver for the business opportunity here. So as I mentioned with my other businesses, they owned me. If I wanted to earn extra income, I had to work more hours. So the question for you, if you stepped away from your day job, would you continue to have money coming in? For those of you that have a side business that you've been trying to grow and nurture, if you completely stopped doing what you're doing for a week, for a month, would you still have money coming in? This is huge. So with Isagenix, as you build your team, as you grow your network, and as you experience residual income, you'll really experience the power of this. So, for example, I remember at one point my wife and I, we were on a vacation, and she said I forget the amount, but she had earned X amount of money over the weekend. And we were on a cruise. And it was amazing to me, and that's when the light went off because I said, you know what, it's almost like magic because here she is, she's earning this income, but she's not standing in front of a classroom of students. She's not missing time with her children as I did, teaching in the evenings, teaching 4 nights a week. So having that freedom to continue bringing in extra money, but not being owned by your business is really, really huge, and I can't emphasize that enough. And finally, and I'll wrap up here, Elizabeth, I just want to encourage everybody. I mean, I truly believe this is a journey that anybody can be successful with. Any of you on this call right now, obviously, at a gut level, you see this opportunity. Now, you may be farther along on the journey than some folks. You may not have even really started this journey at the business side. You may be a product user at this point, and you may be just looking to get your product paid for. And you know what? That's great because we all begin this journey somewhere. But at the end of the day, if you truly see and believe where you're going to be in 6 months, in 12 months, and if you're intentional about getting there, because by no means is this easy. You can't just sit back and expect magic and things to happen. I mean, you do have to work at this, be intentional, be deliberate, and grow this. But you can do it with confidence, and you can do it in good faith because you've experienced the product. You know it works, and I have no doubt 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, people are going to turn to you, and they're going to say, wow, how did they get lucky? And you're going to know, no, this wasn't luck. I had this tremendous opportunity, and I was prepared to really make the most of it. So with that, Elizabeth, I'm going to hand back to you. Thanks, everybody.
Wow, Gary, good gosh. I could listen to you talk for another 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure the rest of the audience could too. Thank you so much. That was so pure and so awesome, and just so much information that you got across and enthusiasm. You and Anna both are a huge asset to my team, and so thank you for sharing all that wisdom that you have gained in such a small amount of time. So, we are coming to the end of the call, but I just want to say, if you're interested, if you're already on the products, and this is something that you want to share with other people, or you're already sharing with other people, and you want to see this grow to more than just getting your products paid for, you want to see a residual income that you can retire off of. When I came into this, I could not even fathom making a multiple of 6-figure income, let alone retiring from my job. It didn't even cross my mind. It didn't even seem like a possibility. But I am here to tell you, I have no experience doing this. We have so many people who do have experience and they're coming in, and we love their expertise. But I like to let people know that you don't have to have experience doing network marketing or being a salesperson or being just a people person. This is all learned. This is all stuff that I learned along the way. And when you have a product transformation, it is nearly impossible not to start to tell other people about it. It's when you make the decision that you want to be intentional to grow this into a business, because this is big business, guys. This is huge. This is not small. This is not just a side business. This can retire you. This can leave you that retirement that you can feel comfortable about and confident about when you're in your 50s and 60s, and you don't have to worry about where all the money went that you had put aside. This is it. This is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to not trade time for money anymore if that's your choice. This is your time to do whatever it is that you want to do, whatever your dreams are. If you have dreams and passions and you don't have an opportunity, this is your vehicle to get there. If you want to come home, if you don't want to be at your 9 to 5 anymore and you want to be home with your kids, you want to travel the world, you want to go foster all the dogs that you want in the world, whatever it is, this is your vehicle. This is your opportunity. And so I invite you to go back to the person who invited you to this call. Let them fill in the blanks for you, answer the questions, and let them really explain to you this lucrative compensation plan, because it will blow your mind when you understand how simple, easy, perfect it is. So with that, we ran a little bit over, but I think it was well worth it, and I appreciate, Gary, you sharing your expertise on this. And, you know, guys, definitely consider this. Go back to the person that invited you and make it a wonderful week. Everyone have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you again next week. Thanks, guys.